said that at the beginning, but this is the Black Widow edition, folks. And
I know the guy would love to sell you one, boy.
coming up this week, we're going to take a look at this all-new redesigned F-150, the Black Widow edition. We're going to see if it's going to be able to keep up with the Ford Raptors, the Dodge Ram TRXs, and all those big-size trucks that are in that class. That's what we got coming up. I'm Jay Walker. You're watching Life Off-Road right here on J-Dub Motorsports. Welcome to another episode of Life Off-Road. The vehicle we're featuring this week is the all-new redesigned F-150 XLT Black Widow edition. Now, the Black Widow is done by a company that's in Trussville, Alabama, which is right outside of Birmingham, and they do custom work for not only just Ford, but all, the GM, the major three manufacturers, GM, Dodge, and whatnot. They've been around for probably since 1979, so they've been doing good work, and they specialize in just, lift kits and all kind of stuff. So this one right here is the Ford edition, and it's a very good looking truck. It has quite a bit of features that kind of gives it a difference between just the regular F-150 and, some would probably compare it to the Raptors and maybe the King Ranch or whatever, but it just stands alone. And I like about what they do because they kind of put their own personal touch to it. So the guy I'm gonna bring in is gonna introduce this truck because this is his baby. He is a good friend of mine. His name is Gerald. I want to bring Gerald so we can talk about his truck. Gerald, come on in.
All right.
What's up, man?
Well, thanks for for taking the opportunity to feature the truck. And as you said, it's definitely my baby. I've been in the market for looking for a truck for a couple of years now, and I've looked at many major brands, and this is the one I settled on. And so far, it's been a great truck to not only own, but a great truck to drive, and it's just been fun. A lot of great features, and more speed than I actually even thought that it had.
Now, what did you have before this? Because I know you had a
I had a Toyota Tundra.
The Tundra, that's right, the Tundra.
Which, was a very good brand. Great ride, very dependable and something and so forth, but I wanted something that was a lot more rugged, but still kind of maintained some of that good ride experience that I had grown accustomed to having. Right.
Yeah, as far as the comparison, it's probably night and day. It's probably the two different trucks, maybe power-wise, because I'm sure the Tundras have the V8s and those.
Correct.
And I believe this one is equipped with the 5.0 Coyote motor, so I'm sure when you stump on it, it has a nice, good punch. Have you got? Can you kind of tell the difference?
I mean, it's a major difference in terms of the speed. Not only the initial acceleration speed, but even you're cruising at about 65, 70, 80. Well, 65 feels like 80.
Right.
And that can get you in some trouble down the way if you're not careful.
Yeah, and like I said, the Black Widow editions, like I said, this comes with a 6-inch lift on these that gives it a nice little stance, and they normally come with the 20-inch tires, but I believe these are 22s. I think you opted for the 22s. And Corey, if you come around the front, I want to show the front of the truck because I actually like this grill that the guys from SCA Performance have really installed, kind of give their stamp on the vehicle, and it kind of has its own Black Widow badging on right here, and it's a very good look. And I believe, did these come with the lights or did you add?
Actually, those were added. Those were added, correct.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure it looks very, very cool and menacing at night. But you can kind of get a good look of how jacked up the truck is just by looking at it at this angle. So, like I said, this engine is a 5.0 liter, so it's probably pumping out probably almost close to 465, almost 500 horsepower, somewhere around that range. And this hood is unique too because this has its unique heat extractors inside the hood, so it gives a chance for the engine to breathe. So I'll definitely like that feature. And plus you see the Black Widow badge on the back. So let's jump and take a look on the inside and see how it looks in there. Folks, so we inside the cab now, and Gerald, this is very impressive. You know, this is that's a big screen for starters, but I like this whole dash, the gauge cluster. I mean, it's very Ford is really up their game as far as interior. So what all do we have here?
Okay, like you mentioned, the LED display screen is really phenomenal, especially at night. It's pretty straightforward. It's not, you don't have to be a techie to utilize it and so forth. You have your audio controls, your CarPlay, your navigation. Has its own lighting. You can turn on exterior lighting around the vehicle. Let's just say if you were just somewhere, you know, taking it easy, waiting for someone to come out, and you kind of in a secluded area, you know, you can light it up to, you know, just kind of ward off folks that may be interested in doing something devilish. You also have one of my favorite features, actually one of my wife's favorite features, is this adapter. So this is essentially her mobile office.
Oh, okay.
We have Wi-Fi through Ford.
Right.
And a lot of times she's able, we're both able to work while we're out, you know, taking care of other business and so forth. So that makes it very convenient. Also, too, this gear goes down.
Oh, sweet.
And it, you know, gives clear space if you want to sit a laptop here or something like that, or an iPad to work. So it just gives you some additional workspace while you're operating.
Okay.
One of my favorite features is to select the Eco for when I'm driving, because it saves me on fuel. And then, you know, when I don't mind spending a little money, I'll put it in sport mode. And,
kind of get on it. I'm sure it reacts totally different.
And I'll be able to live out one of my bucket list fantasies of having a sport car, but I've never owned one, so this is the closest thing to a sports car I've ever had.
Right.
It has a panoramic roof, which is, you know, extremely great at night. Not right now when it's 90+ degrees outside.
Right.
But it has the dual glove boxes, which I thought was kind of unique.
Okay.
One there. Then you also have a traditional glove box there, which is pretty unique. Believe it or not, these dome lighting right here, they provide very, very good lighting at night. You know, like I said, once again, if we're working, because believe it or not, we work a lot away from home. So consequently, you know, we're able to pretty much work comfortably and so forth. Some of the things you see up here, that's one of the speakers for the sound system, which sounds relatively well. That's on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it about a 7.5.
Okay.
That's not bad for a stock radio.
Right.
I'm not interested in the bump and thump.
Right.
You know, I like good sound quality and so forth. But one of the things that was extremely attractive to us as a family is the space.
Right.
I'm not a super big dude, but I mean, this can accommodate, you know, my son is real tall, you know, big fella. And, you know, he could actually sit in the front or back, and it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Fords had always, that's one thing I can always say, that they probably have a little bit of the edge over GM as far as, and don't kill me GM guys, but just space, you're just a little bit more comfortable than your Silverados and whatnot. I'm not trying to, you know, pick size or whatever, but it's very roomy, because I'm sitting here and I know this seat is not all the way in the back, but it's very comfortable, and I can just imagine in the back where you could probably just take a nap and you know, you'd be just riding very comfortable.
Now my wife is about, let's just say 5'4", somewhere in there, and it has the electronic pedal adjustments.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good feature for her. You know, if she chooses to utilize it. You know, when she drives it, she likes to sit with the seat way up, so her head is like up here.
Oh, yeah.
So that she can see out.
Right.
So, it's kind of funny to see her drive it, because it's like, you know, she drives it relatively well too.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take her long to get accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But you know, it has your standard features, your USBs and so forth. But this has wireless CarPlay, which is awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Which is awesome. And along with your traditional USBs, we have USBs, and we also have a AC plug in the back as well.
Okay.
So that helps. And When we want a little breeze, you know, the power sliding window in the back.
Okay.
That's a really, really neat feature.
Right.
You know, to let the breeze in and so forth. But, you know, overall, I would say Ford pretty much hit the mark.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing in here that I would want to try to change, upgrade, you know, because I think it would kind of take away
Yeah.
from the mystique.
Yeah, this is a very good looking interior, and I see that SCA Performance put their badge on with the Black Widow badge, and I love the badges that's in the seat, in the headrest with the stitching, and also I believe they changed out these gauges and put those in there. That's a very, very good look. So matter of fact, let's see how these gauges work. So let's go for a ride. All right, here we go. I left out in the video so far that this is a 2021. I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but this is the Black Widow edition, folks. And this is a massive truck. Man, I want one already. I feel like you're driving a big old tank.
I know the guy loved to sell you one, boy. And he was a fair but very knowledgeable person in terms of making sure to identify the things I wanted with versus, you know, what actually would make the truck even more appealing.
Right, right. Now, how long did it take you to get used to driving this compared to the Tundra? Because I know the Tundra was...
Well, it took me a while. I'm going to tell you the biggest difference, believe it or not, is these wide tires. And making sure that, you know, I don't get too close to curbs. There's certain streets, like on Bankhead, for instance.
Right.
That's a very narrow street. I stay in the exterior. I stay in the outside lane.
Right.
Drive-throughs.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of challenging.
Matter of fact, I won't bring up the story in details, but let's just say my wife will not be visiting.
Oh, man. We'll probably have to edit this part out. That'll probably be a part of the blooper reel. We could laugh at it, but yeah. Yeah, because I can imagine, because this thing is intimidating, man. I mean, it's just looking at the hood. I feel like I'm driving one of our tractors, man. I mean, it's big. So it's definitely not your average truck, because people don't realize that 6 inches of lift is a huge difference.
Yes, it's a whole different experience when it comes to driving.
Right.
When I get in my other F-150, 2006 F-150, it's almost like driving a small car compared to this. Man, that's just a regular. That's not even.
Yeah, we just got it. Yeah, we just got it in regular mode for now, folks. We might put it in sport mode. I don't want to burn up Gerald's gas,
hey.
but
that's what a full tank
that's what
for.
that's what we out here for. So
to have some fun.
Yeah, this thing, man. This thing rides smooth. That's one thing I always heard about. You know, trucks that's kind of jacked up, that they kind of ride, you know, kind of harsh, but just off the rip.
A significant amount of the costs associated with the upgrades was spent in the
suspension work, right.
The coils, the Fox shocks, and so forth. Major difference when it comes to rides. Anytime you put big tires on something and lift it up, it changes the whole dynamics in terms of the engineering of any vehicle.
Right. Yeah, they did a great job. They this is what SCA Performance specializes in, the, like I said, the suspension upgrades. And I did see on their website and a couple of their videos that, I don't know if they do them, but they do add superchargers to some of these motors, depending on how much power you want.
I mean, yeah, you can add, if you want to pay.
yeah, because that was going to be kind of the elephant in the room. You know, this package, from what I'm hearing, is like an extra 30 grand on top of the F-150 that you're purchasing, the XLT, give or take. Yeah. And some people might say that's, you know, expensive, but you know, that's what you pay versus, you know, doing it yourself, which is kind of what I like how they did, you know, because you're you know, you can spend some money on suspension work and all that when you can just spend the extra few grand, and I already had these guys done it for you.
Well, one of the selling points too, one of the things that really was a major factor in my decision to move forward with the purchase is the warranty. I mean, I have bumper to bumper on everything.
Right.
So if there are any issues, Ford will,
Nestor Ford?
Yes, correct. I don't have to go to a third party or anything. I go straight back to dealership.
Yeah, that's good that they offer you that warranty. Wake up 5-0, wake up Coyote mode. There we go. There we go. And they put their own exhaust. I forgot what exhaust they said they put on these. And they come back to me. I'll probably get it in the video. This is a nice tone exhaust. It's not too loud and raspy. It's a deep tone, and it sounds pretty good. And these have the Fox shocks that's in the rear, which adds to that suspension passing. That's a big type of suspension deal with the guys over at SCA. Let's test out the brakes. Oh,
very good.
They're very good.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Now I want to say this thing probably weighs, I'll probably say almost close to 6,000 pounds.
I would imagine no more than 6,000 pounds.
All right, folks. We're in sport mode, and yeah, it's a little trigger happy here. So let's see what we got. Now, does the wife put it in sport mode, or is she kind of afraid of it?
She's strictly econo.
Yeah. All right. Whoa. Now my next question is gonna be, when you gonna take this thing off-roading?
Oh, soon. Soon.
Man.
Yeah, because they got the rock crawl mode.
Yeah.
The sand, all of that. There's several modes.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to take this up just a big old massive hill and just climb. I'm sure it's a good road trip truck too, though. I mean, I know this thing. You say you drove?
No, we done been to Charlotte, different parts of Alabama, Hilton, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
We've been on about 6 road trips since February. And believe it or not, we've maxed out at about 19.4 miles per
gallon on the highway.
On the highway,
okay.
In eco mode.
I was gonna say, so you drove it in eco mode, pretty much. Okay.
And you're talking a 36-gallon tank.
Right.
So you can do some cruising.
Yeah. Yeah, I stand corrected, folks. This thing is a little hefty. It weighs a little over 7,000 pounds. I'm sure with the added suspension, but it's a heavy-duty truck. It's a Ford. It's built Ford tough. So you have to, have the equipment to take on the extra weight. Now, how many times has your son tried to steal it from you?
Believe it or not, I think he drove it maybe one time. He said it was like a little bit too big for him right now. So our youngest, she's driven it like to park it, move it out the driveway, to move the cars around. And I know she's itching to want to drive it, so I'm going to let her drive it at some point. But she drives the other trucks and everything. She's probably 5'1" and 105 pounds soaking wet. But she'll get behind this thing and she'll be the one that want to crawl up some rocks with it.
Right, I can imagine so. How long have you had it now?
4 months.
4 months, okay.
4 months.
Yeah. You still just kind of breaking her in.
Well, let me say this. I bought it 4 months ago. I've had it for about 2.
Okay.
With sending it off and getting things.
Then you went to the dealership, and was it already the Black Widow edition? You just wanted them to?
Well, actually, it was. I had some things added.
And you sent it off, you said? To,
so they added some things to it, because like the bumper that comes with the regular Black Widow is the, color match is the same color as the vehicle, and the front and rear, and it comes with just regular side steps, running boards.
Oh, okay.
So I had all of that stuff added as well.
Right.
Along with the electric tailgate cover.
Right.
Or bed cover, should I say.
I love that bed cover. That's smooth, man.
Oh, man. And I had to actually be convinced when the gentleman's name was Rollins Walker that sold me the vehicle. He had to convince me to get that cover because I was like, I don't want that.
You trying to get over? Yeah, to convince you to.
Yeah, because I'll be perfectly frank with you, I thought they were rather cheesy. But, you know, after, you know, he showed me some vehicles that had them, and I thought about it. I was like, I think I might want one.
Yeah.
So what you think so far about that power, you know, considering how large the vehicle is?
Yeah, it's definitely, with the 5.0, it's definitely making it cool. But I can see, you know, guys wanting to, you know, put superchargers on something just to give it a little bit of extra boost, which I can imagine would be a lot of fun. But it pulls fine.
If I were to do that, or if someone were to do that, they should change out the brakes.
Right, yeah, I would definitely upgrade the brakes and put 6 pistons on here, and yeah, you definitely have to have that on there. You definitely won't be able to stop. It sounds like, man, I would, you know, if it was me, I would think about it. You know, if you plan on keeping it, but they got the right motor in here, because normally these have like the 5.3s or something. But the Coyote, it's a good motor. I mean, it pulls good. You know, it's not weak or anything, especially with all this extra weight they added onto it. So you kind of had to put a nice mocked up motor in here.
Oh yeah. That would have been a bad ride with the motor that didn't have the amount of power.
Yeah, that just couldn't really pull, you know. This thing, I mean, it's like driving a Titanic, man. I just want to go on a road trip in it. You know, I've been looking at trucks, man. I haven't really came to that conclusion because, you know, I still want to, you know, a vet. I've been waiting on that Z06 to come out, so I've been kind of going back and forth. But I've always wanted a nice full-size truck, and that's the thing I do like about Fords. You know, even with the F-150s, when they did the redesign, you know, years ago, they've made some good-looking trucks. And they've always been great on the inside as well. They always rode good too. So.
That says a lot too, because, you know, you spend a lot of time in your vehicles nowadays. Like I said, you know, we work when we're in the vehicle most of the time. So to have all the creature comforts of, you know, as if you were working from home in a vehicle, you know, goes a long way.
Well, that's it for this week. I want to thank my good friend Gerald for letting me take his baby out, man. This is an absolute beast, folks. And the guys at SCA Performance, they've been around the business for a reason. I mean, they did a good job with this, so I definitely want to thank them for creating a great product in the Black Widow edition. I want to give a quick shout out to my new subscribers, as I normally do. We got a Mark Garnett, a Coot Wright, JH, Dan Nally, Roy Robert Stiff, Gabe Massa, Ford Truck Guy, Kyle, Idaho, Conrad Nitty, Sim Love, that's Lovelace, I see you, Sam, Andrea Williams, good friend of mine, Rodney Lloyd, and Grant Nicholas. Appreciate you guys for subscribing, and go to my website, JDub Motorsports, if you want to get you some merch. And since we're in the summer months coming up, this is actually Memorial Day weekend, we're going to start selling these Yetis done by a good friend of mine. She does the customization of these Yetis, so if you want you one, you know, just go to my website, depending on when this airs, and you can order you one to keep you cool during the summertime. So that's all we got, and we'll see you next week.